we've gotten word that the press conference has started up in Pennsylvania. This is where officials are announcing the status of the inmate who escaped that prison that was close to Philadelphia. His name is Danelo Cavalcante, a convicted killer, dangerous, and now believed to be armed. Let's go there together live and listen to the update.
Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, Deputy Commissioner of Operations with the Pennsylvania State Police. Joining me today is District Attorney Deb Ryan, Chief County Detective David Sassa, FBI ASAC Jamie Milligan, and Rob Clark from the U.S. Marshal's Office. There have been a number of significant developments overnight in this investigation and manhunt. At approximately 8 p.m. last evening, a motorist reported seeing a male crouched near the wood line along the south side of Fairview Road, west of Route 100. The motorist turned her vehicle around in an effort to verify what she saw. As she drove back past, the individual was gone. We had a large number of troopers already in the area and utilized them to form a perimeter around that area. A Border Patrol tactical team was also in the immediate vicinity and went directly to the location of the sighting. They observed footprints in some mud, which were identical to the prison shoes worn by Cavalcante. A track was initiated, and shortly thereafter, both of his prison shoes were located. Information was received from another resident in that immediate area that a pair of work boots had been stolen from a porch at her residence. The tracking of Cavalcante continued in a northerly direction, and at 10:10 p.m., a call was received from a resident on Coventryville Road indicating a short Hispanic male, no shirt, and wearing dark pants, had entered his garage while the homeowner was in it, and that he grabbed a .22 rifle that was leaning in the corner of the garage. The homeowner drew a pistol and fired at Cavalcante as he fled with the rifle. PSP responded and secured that scene. At that time, a green sweatshirt and white t-shirt believed to belong to Cavalcante were discovered near the edge of the driveway. The perimeter was expanded to include that area. Overnight, searches of the area within the perimeter were conducted by tactical teams from multiple agencies. Teams from Pennsylvania State Police, Border Patrol, ATF, FBI, U.S. Marshals, and Chester County have been active through the night. Teams are currently being rotated out and replaced with fresh teams. Aviation assets, canines, mounted patrols, and numerous other assets have been mobilized and are currently operating in this search area. Upwards of 500 law enforcement officers are engaged in securing the perimeter and in conducting the searches. We are mobilizing additional resources as we speak and are planning for an extended operating period if necessary. Cavalcante is considered armed and extremely dangerous. He is now armed with a .22 caliber rifle with a scope and flashlight mounted on it. Throughout the night, we sent several reverse 911 messages to residents within a 3-mile radius of this incident, as well as posted information to social media in an effort to inform the public and to keep them safe. We also notified the affected schools of this incident in the very early morning hours, and a decision was made to close schools in the O&J Roberts School District for today. The current perimeter includes PA 23 to the north, PA 100 to the east, Fairview and Nant Mill roads to the south, and Iron Bridge and County Park roads to the west. We ask residents in and around this vicinity to please secure homes, outbuildings, and vehicles. It is imperative that anyone with information about Cavalcante contact us immediately so we can act on it in a timely manner. They can call 911 or our tip line at 717-562-2987. 717-562-2987. We will take questions at this time.
What was the response time, sir, from the moment the homeowner called the state police after the shots were fired? What was the response time?
Minutes.
Do we believe he's injured?
We have no reason to believe that he is injured as a result of that shooting.
Colonel, do you think he's still trying to head south eventually?
No, I think he is just trying to survive and avoid being captured right now, sir. Yes.
How does that change your tactics when it comes to the fact that he's not considered armed?
We have considered him dangerous right from the very start. It changes nothing. We have always considered him to be a risk. We just now absolutely know that he has a weapon.
Do you think he knows where he is?
Yes.
Do
he knows where he's been there?
I think,
before?
yes, he has been in that area before.
Do any homes need to be evacuated?
We're not evacuating homes at this point. We're asking residents to be vigilant and, again, lock their doors, call us if there is any issue or any concern on their
Is
part.
he getting help?
Between the homeowner towards Cavalcante.
It was several shots. I don't have that number
Sir,
at
was
this
a
point.
law enforcement officer injured? There were reports about late last night.
Not as a result of anything with the search. We've had a few minor incidents or issues with officers out on the perimeter and things, but nothing related directly to the search.
Is he getting help from anyone? Has he gotten help from anyone at any point in recent days?
I'm not going to comment on whatever assistance he may or may not have received. What I will tell you is that at this point, I believe he is beyond assistance, and he is in that perimeter, and we will actively hunt until we find him.
Now that he has cooperating with the investigation, is he fully cooperating?
Yes.
Now that he has a firearm and you have a general location and containment, is it imperative to push now, especially given the urgency of the firearm?
Sure, we have been pushing anytime we had him contained from the very start. We have seen this as a high priority throughout. It is, in this particular case, the search area is probably close to 3 miles across east to west and 2 to 2.5 miles north to south. It's a large area, wooded, hilly terrain. It's not something that it's a matter of just sending a few people in and searching. As I said, we've had a number of tactical teams operating in there through the night. We continue to have teams operating in there now. It will take a long time to clear that entire area, and we will continue until we do locate him.
You talked about how difficult the area around Longview Farms was to search in. Is this a similarly difficult, more or less difficult?
Some similar challenges. The difference here, it's a little larger area. And so anytime you're in an area like this, you can imagine if you went out and took a several square mile area and had to try and find a single person who is trying to hide, it's a challenge.
Do you consider him contained now in that area?
As I've said before, no perimeter is ever 100% impenetrable. We have absolutely stood up a very strong perimeter. We will do our very best to contain him in there and to capture him.
We saw some boats being driven in. Are there any creeks or waterways in that area that you guys are searching?
There are some creeks in there, yes.
And
Precautions are law enforcement taking right now that he is armed and dangerous. Are the officers instructed to wear tactical gear?
The officers have been wearing their gear throughout this entire search. Again, we have always considered him dangerous. We just know, we now have confirmation that he has a firearm. The tactics are the same.
How did he get the ammunition? Was the ammunition?
It was with the firearm.
Near the right
It was with the firearm.
Sir,
We have to hit a break. Don't worry, you will not miss a minute of this. How about what he shared, that last night this guy is so bold and brazen, going into that man's garage, stealing his rifle. The man shoots at him, but apparently didn't hit him, and this guy is still on the run. We're going to hit the pause button. We'll go back live to Pennsylvania for more on the prison escapee right after this.
Tragedy in the Hollywood Hills. Prominent therapist Dr. Amy Hardwick found fatally injured under her balcony.
Her ex-boyfriend on trial for her murder.
She had had a restraining order against him.
He strangled her, lifted her up over the balcony, and dropped her.
He never intended on killing her.
Is this a case of a jilted lover turned obsessive stalker?
The Hollywood Obsession Murder Trial. Trial coverage today on Court TV.
Thanks so much for being with us here on Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We are watching a press conference right now in Pennsylvania about prison escapee Danelo Cavalcante. This guy, armed and dangerous. Police just announcing that last night there was a shooting incident where he went into a man's garage, grabbed a rifle that was leaning against the wall. The man shot at him, but they really haven't addressed what happened after that. It seems that he did not hit him, and this guy still very much on the run, stole a pair of work boots. They're using tracking dogs, and he said aviation assets, so I'm assuming helicopters in the air, canvassing the areas where he was last seen. Let's go back in now together at the moment where we just left off.
Sir, he's so close to French Creek Park right now. I know that tunnels were a factor potentially in the Longwood area. Are you also searching hyper-focusing on the tunnels from where he was last spotted last night? Because if he was in the tunnels, he could potentially get away.
We are focusing on that entire area. Again, we have supervisors on the ground out there assessing any issues or risks of escape, and we are trying to address any possibility out there.
It sounds like these residents contacted officials pretty quickly. The fact that the tactical team was able to see the fresh prints, identify them as prison shoes. What happened? Why weren't they able to find him?
They have been searching for him. It was only minutes, but in that amount of time, he traveled a significant distance. We've been utilizing dogs, and we've been utilizing tactical teams. So, again, just because we find a footprint doesn't mean we necessarily know which direction he traveled. And in fact, he had traveled south and then went back north. So it's not a matter of just charging into the woods and knowing that, it's that away. It's a matter of trying to track him. It's a matter of sweeping methodically through the woods, checking buildings and so forth. We don't have the luxury of just charging up the nearest trail and hoping that's the direction he went.
You believe he scoped out that house where he stole the firearm? He went to the garage, the firearm was laying there. Had he been watching that house?
I don't believe so, sir. I think at that point he was being pushed by the teams that were pursuing him from the original sighting. I think it was, in my opinion, I believe it was a crime of opportunity. I think he went in there probably trying to hide. The garage door was open. He didn't, I believe, recognize that the owner was in there, and I think he was probably looking for a place to hide, ran for that garage, saw the firearm, grabbed that, encountered the homeowner, and fled with the firearm.
What's the square mile area now that you are searching? Do you have an estimate?
I don't know, what is that, 8 to 10 square miles probably?
You've had two instances now of Cavalcante picking up supplies that really changed the search, whether it was a van with the keys in it or a firearm that was somewhat unsecured. Do you have any plans to change the messaging in this new containment area to really emphasize the importance of locking?
I don't know how much more I could emphasize it, sir. I've been very clear about securing things. We have sent, as I said, several reverse 911 messages through the night, again emphasizing that point and telling residents what they can do, just advising them the situation. I can't be any clearer that they need to secure things.
Do you use maps of culverts, drainage areas, tunnels, different?
We're working with a variety of maps. We have county emergency management people on site and have had them on site here in the command post so that we do have access to the available information.
Sir, you said it's on the officer that passed out this morning around 9 a.m.
I don't. I was told that it is not a life-threatening situation, but I don't have any other
Sir, you
information.
said it's a matter of time before he is captured. It feels like you're getting very close. How many law enforcement officers do you have on the ground right now? Are we at that 400 number?
I would think we're well past the 400. We are probably around 500 right now. It's very fluid. We have people still coming in. We've been releasing people that were held overnight. We have people that have been on duty for 20 hours, 24 hours or more, and we're relieving them. We held people over because of the seriousness of the situation last night. So we're working through replacing all of those. We have people coming in, I can speak for the state police, from all over Pennsylvania to support this effort and to be able to sustain it. And our partner agencies are doing the same, not only from Pennsylvania, but from out of state as well, with various specialty teams.
How did he get from Phoenixville to South Covington? On foot, or did he steal another vehicle?
No, this is the area where he left the van. It's very close in proximity to where the van was abandoned and where I talked about that I believed he was in the woods and was likely hiding.
The homeowner, when you interviewed him, can you give us any more detail about what he told you? Had he gotten the reverse 911 calls, the homeowner who shot him?
I really can't provide any more detail right now. What I can tell you is, again, he encountered him. He did call us very quickly. He did what we asked him to do with regard to that.
What road was that passed on?
Coventryville Road.
How many times did he fire at him?
I don't have that number of shots. Several shots, I was told.
Reports that Cavalcante stole a pair of boots. Are those accurate?
Yes.
Are any of the homes being monitored that he's been to in the last couple of days? Are you looking for better homes?
I'm sorry, which homes are you referring to now?
The homes that
Those homes, well, the ring door camera is nowhere. It's not in this search area, and the home with the garage that we talked about is within the search area, and we are actively working that area.
Does he still shelter in place for the?
Does he have food now?
I don't know.
Do you have a sense of how many other houses he might have been in this area?
I don't have reports of any other houses that he's been in. Doesn't mean he hasn't been, but we don't have reports of those.
Lieutenant Colonel, something's gone wrong here. I mean, have you underestimated him? Is he just that much of a worthy adversary?
Sir, I don't know why you would think something has gone wrong. Our law enforcement people have done an amazing job tracking him and locating him, that proverbial needle in the haystack, and they've located that needle repeatedly. You know, the questions yesterday about is he out of state, is he somewhere around the country, and we told you we were actively searching in this area. Our people have done an amazing job. I'm very proud of the work that they have done and continue to do. There is nothing has gone wrong. Our agencies are all working very well together, and I believe we will be successful in the long run.
Does this change the posture of how your troopers and law enforcement in the field pursuing him now that he is armed? How is that posture?
We have always considered him to be very dangerous, and I have stressed that in every one of my press conferences and in every briefing that I have given to our people that are out there searching. We considered him desperate. We considered him dangerous. All this does is confirm for us that he has a weapon.
Is he desperate enough to use that weapon on target law enforcement?
He's killed 2 people previously. I would suspect that he's desperate enough to use that weapon.
Are any other way to prevent carjackings based on the weapon now in the same?
I'm sorry, is there?
Any efforts underway to prevent a carjacking?
Sir, we're actively working that area. I don't know what other efforts we could make to prevent a carjacking. We've asked people to secure everything. Anything that occurs in there, we will be on top of, and you know, we're making every effort to find him as rapidly as we possibly can.
Is there still shelter in place within the search perimeter, or people can leave their homes?
People can leave their homes. That's entirely up to them. We have not tried to direct anybody to shelter in place. We have simply asked them to secure their homes. It's up to them if they want to leave. If they need assistance, they can let us know, and we will work with them to make sure they can get out of the area.
Does the house on Coventryville have a video of the interaction from last night?
No. I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you been in communication with the governor's office? How are the
I have been in regular communication with the governor's office and the governor himself. The governor has been closely monitoring this entire situation, has offered any resources that are necessary, has offered to contact other states if need be. So he's been closely monitoring this. He's on top of it, and we continue to keep him advised.
Other than the theft of the rifle, did Cavalcante make any aggressive moves to the homeowner, who I believe is in his 80s? Is that accurate?
He did not, to my knowledge, make any other aggressive moves. They confronted each other. The shots were fired, and he fled. And I'm not going to release anything else about the homeowner at this point.
Do we know how close they actually got to each other, the homeowner and Cavalcante?
It was a number of feet.
Anything you would like the public to know at this juncture? I know you've reiterated some very important facts, but just, you know.
No, I think, again, I stress, please secure things, and not just within the perimeter, in the vicinity around it. And please call us immediately.
Danelo Cavalcante, quite dangerous, as police are emphasizing, as he's done 2 homicides, one here in America and one in Brazil. We're going to hit a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll take you back there live for more of the presser right after this. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant, and we continue following some big breaking news in the state of Pennsylvania right now. Police with the Pennsylvania State Police are doing a press conference to give the public the latest update on prison escapee Danelo Cavalcante. This guy escaped, has been on the run for nearly 2 weeks now. He scaled the walls of a prison in Pennsylvania in a county that's very close to Philadelphia County, a more rural county though. He's been on the run, said to have stolen a pair of work boots in one area and then stolen a rifle, a .22 caliber rifle with a scope and a flashlight on it. So he's armed, he's dangerous according to police, and he's desperate as well. He's already killed 2 people, and police are afraid that he may kill again. So they're working with aviation assets in the air and with canines on the ground trying to track those places where he is said to have left footprints behind. Let's go back in now and hear more of the question and answer session happening at the presser.
They see something suspicious, if they believe that Cavalcante might be in the area, we need that information. Again, it's a large search area. We're going to very thoroughly search it, but their assistance is very much appreciated.
Maybe it's worth repeating. I've asked it before. Can you explain why you can't just push through with the terrain, with what you're dealing with, how it's challenging to...
We are pushing through with the terrain with tactical teams, but it is not really practical to suggest that we could line up a line 3 miles long and push in one long line through there. We've got to methodically search it. We've got trained teams that are doing that, and we're going to cover that ground as quickly and as thoroughly as we possibly can. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll get additional information to you as things unfold. Thank you.
There we have it, the latest update. And look at this guy. Take a good look at him. He looks very different than he does in his mugshot. He's shaved, all that facial hair is gone, clean shaven now. One of the residents who made a call about the stolen work boots said that he is short. I described him as a short Hispanic male. And so here we have it. The search continues for this guy, and authorities are afraid he may do something desperate as he is now armed with that weapon that he stole, the homeowner firing back at him. And police didn't clarify in that press conference if he hit him. I was hoping that someone would ask that question and we'd get a clarification on it, but I think it's a safe assumption that he was not hit, or else, you know, perhaps he would have gone to a hospital for treatment and been captured there. We shall see what happens. That is all for now, but we'll keep our eyes on Pennsylvania, and we've got 2 great guests standing by watching this along with us. Still with me, retired Police Sergeant Melissa Pinkleton, and I want to welcome onto the program criminal defense attorney Joseph Tolley with us as well. Joseph, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us as well. Here we have a very bad situation that could get worse. Sergeant Pinkleton, let me start with you here, where the police giving a warning in the press conference for everyone to be vigilant, lock their doors, be very aware that this guy may be present and may do something extreme. What are your thoughts in terms of safety advice for people who live in that area, who might be watching this show right now thinking, what more can I do to try to protect myself?
I mean, he's doing exactly what he should, and he's putting out the right information at the right times as he gets it and updating the public. Yes, if you're a homeowner and you live in that area, you need to, if you can stay in your house, stay in your house. Obviously, lock your doors, lock your windows, and everyone knows when they're in their home, they know the normal sounds of their home. Something sounds funny, you know, look out the window. If you have to go out, just be aware, have your head in a swivel for a little bit and look around. If he's going to be looking to hide and not so much really, if he has got resources, he's looking to hide right now because he knows they're closing in. But I just want to touch real quick on some of the questions that were being asked in the press conference.
Sure.
They have commented from day one. They have informed us that he is very dangerous. They've taken this very seriously, and I think what the public sometimes doesn't understand, or actually I think the public does understand, but the reporters were kind of adversarial in explaining this is a lot of area to cover, 8 to 10 square miles. You know, you can't line up bodies to bodies because the terrain, the way it is hard enough even looking for one person inside of a house. I cannot tell you how many search warrants and search areas, but it's ridiculous to think that this was just going to be, okay, he's going this way, we got a dog, we have him. They're using all the assets, he checked all the boxes, all the agencies, air aviation, drones, dogs, everything. There's nothing more they could possibly do. They made the right call shutting the schools down today, absolutely made the right call shutting the schools down. They did reverse 911, but at this point, everybody can't have a security guard in their house. So they're being informative, and so just be vigilant, be aware. and they're closing in. I can tell you from what he's saying, they're closing in. They're close.
It's great to hear you say that, Sergeant. Was there something in particular you picked up on that gave you that impression?
Just the fact that he brought up how many. He brought it up himself. He said that they're closing in, and they're able to track. Like, he just had the encounter with the homeowner, so that tells me that gives them a closer area to close in on. But they've kind of been setting the perimeter up and creeping the box in. You know, he got away very fast, but they got the new perimeter up they have now, and it sounds to me like he's certain he's contained in there, and they're closing in and closing in to get to him. So I'll be shocked if he is. I think he might shoot it out with the police. I'm being honest. I think he might. He has nothing left to lose. He's got a murder warrant in Brazil. He's wanted for murder. He knows this has been a huge effort, and he knows he's never getting out. So it'll be interesting to see how this ends.
Let's hope not. Let's hope they get him first. And we know the homeowner tried to get him. He almost got him. Unfortunately, he didn't. And I want to issue a clarification, too. Apparently, it was asked, and the officer said that there's no evidence that he was shot. So at this point, it looks like he didn't hit him. It looks like he fired but missed. I've got another clip. Let's go back to where this all began. Right, it began in the prison. How the heck did this guy get out? Well, apparently one of the guards is being investigated. Let's play that clip about that now.
In the escape of Cavalcante, the tower officer did not observe nor report the escape. The escape was discovered as part of the inmate counts that occurs when inmates come in from the exercise yard. As I previously noted, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office will be conducting a thorough criminal investigation into the escape, which includes this element of the incident. This investigation is both necessary and welcome. The action of the tower officer present at the time of Cavalcante's escape are a key part of our internal investigation, and we'll be taking appropriate action against personnel based on the results of that investigation.
Oh my, Joseph Tully, let me go to you on this one. You do criminal defense work in the private sector. I imagine that jail and prison visits happen every week for you, if not every day. You know, if you're in trial, you can't be in two places at once, but what a process it is. For many of our viewers who've never set foot inside a jail or a prison, not easy to get in, right? Did this astound you that this happened? Talk to me about your initial reaction, if you would, please, Joseph.
Sure. I mean, this is just really incredible to watch in terms of it's just beyond belief, where somebody simply observes a wall and then crab walks up it, and next thing you know, they're free. I know he had to get through a couple rounds of fencing and barbed wire and things like that, and escape a guard. But it just really just such an unbelievable thing to see, as we're seeing on the screen right now. Just this crab walk, and then next thing you know, he's gone. As you said, I've been to jails and prisons many times, and the security there is pretty thorough. So this is just really a design flaw within the prison that I'm sure they'll be fixing very soon.
All right. It's like you wonder, don't you wish we could see what's up there, right? The video, it's only from this angle, but I'd love to, is he seeing the sky? What is he seeing up there? How the heck did he do this? I mean, this is just appalling. I mean, it's truly appalling. And so good that they're investigating the guard or guards who were present there. Were they asleep? What were they doing? Why didn't they stop this? Sergeant Pinkleton, you've worked in law enforcement for many years. What did you think when you initially heard how this guy got out?
And when I saw the Spider-Man move there, I don't understand. Like, was there just a huge hole above there and he flipped over something? So I was really surprised. And obviously there are some issues with the perimeter security, and it is bothersome that the second layer, so once the fencing does not contain the prisoners, then the second layer are the watchguard towers. So I am curious as to what the watchguard was doing. Now, I will say this: when the guys are out in the yard like that, they have a lot of bodies to watch. They're looking for cliques that are forming. They're looking for any potential fights that are going to break out. They're watching body language. So you have a small amount of guards watching, dozens and dozens or hundreds of men. So I understand it could just be as simple as he was looking in a different direction, but there's obviously some security issues with the perimeter. I have no doubt that they've already fixed that, and they're going to reassess the entire prison as a whole and fix any other issues that there may be as well.
Yeah, appreciate your insight on this one, as always, Sergeant Pinkleton.